What's going on, everyone? I wanted to talk about a few things. I have watched a few videos regarding the Crow of Judgment in TJV. I just wanted to let him or let people know that, and who watch TJV and who watch the Crow, they are in a very dangerous game where they give off news or information about people where people can perceive them as true fact, as just straight up just everything that they're saying and should believe is a God's honest truth. Now, one thing I thought was interesting about their encounters, and now that they are having a kind of a beef, I wouldn't say it was like a big beef thing, but it's just a disagreement. And I do kind of feel like from watching the Crows of Judgment stream, where they talked about TJV and him presenting the evidence of Cyan, that they were attacking him a little bit. Well, not just a little bit. They did attack him a few times in their stream. And just him personally and his beliefs of everything. His beliefs are his beliefs on the situation. He should not be attacked for what he believed. And then, yeah, he wasn't there to defend himself on everything. So, though any sayings about him should have been left alone. Just him personally. Until you were able to talk to him and then ask him. That would have been different. If you're just talking about the document that Cyan and stuff had, then that would have been one thing. Some things that TJV said, I understand completely. I don't agree with everything he said, but I understand what he was going by. And the same thing with the Crow of Judgment. I understand completely what they were going by, and I get a lot of the things that they were saying. And I think that when they looked at each other's videos, they didn't really get an understanding of each other. Everyone picked a side. We can already tell that everyone has their side of what they think, which is cool. You can have your side of what you think. But how y'all display it on your videos can be an issue. And that's both TJV and the Crow. And one of the things that I say that is highly dangerous is just saying that Louis is absolutely guilty of talking to a minor. I wouldn't say that. I can believe that he did it. I actually do believe that he has talked to a minor. Do I believe that evidence shows that? No. Do I believe that what was shown in the document that TJ presented shows that? No. Because again, that could have been from anyone. She could have got that from anyone. And it didn't have to be the girl who is 15 or 16, however age y'all were wanting to display her as. Just because there's nothing attached to shows specifically is this person each and every time. Whether it's the IDs. And this is just what was presented. And I'm not saying that y'all don't have that information or y'all don't have that same. But as far as your videos and stuff goes, TJV's video, I didn't see it. I didn't see anything to indicate that, yes, this is all this 16-year-olds or 15-year-olds information. These are her IDs. When you go to the conversation, this is her conversation, and this is her who messaged Cyan. They can be split up, and they can be from different people. But Louis did talk to someone. He did have those conversations, and they were disgusting. The partial nude is very inappropriate. Yes, it is considered a partial nude, even though that there's no body parts of nudity, quote unquote, just because men can get away with being topless. I think that's the whole thing and whole issue, that men can be, but how it is presented is inappropriate. That's the one thing. Because it doesn't matter that his shirt's off, it's just how it's presented is inappropriate. If that is him talking to a minor. That's the only case if he is. And if he did send it to a minor. That's where I think some of the issues and stuff goes with both the Crow of Judgment's people, Kayla, Aurora, and the Crow. Some of the issues that they were trying to display is they can't tell. And they can't tell if the person is underage. We all can't tell. So the evidence that was shown for that part 1 or whatever for the document doesn't display anything, and I don't think it should have been talked too much about by TJV as something that would indicate Louis harshly. I think that's something that's probably should have waited on until you got a part 2. To even get your own full judgment. Just because it's not enough there for anything. And that's why I think the Crow of Judgment that we're trying to go by is if you were to talk to a lawyer, or if a lawyer was talking to you, it was to tell you, and this is the reason why they shouldn't have never even brought it out. All of that can be attacked. And that's what the Crow of Judgment them did on that evidence. They attacked it. Strategically, like they were the lawyers defending Louis. That's exactly how a lawyer would do it. Look at her messaging and saying, oh, I didn't want the pictures. I didn't ask for him to send anything. I didn't ask. But then in the conversation, you're fine in these conversations and stuff like that. That's stuff that would be brought up in court. That way of talking would be brought up. And that's something that they're trying to display, but I don't think it was clearly said. And it wasn't fully understood. I'm not a lawyer. I've had experiences, but I'm not a lawyer as far as the situations and stuff like that goes. Because anything you say can be used against you. The stuff that they put out can be used against them in a court of law. That's why I think it is perfectly fine for Louis to not say anything. That way anything he says cannot be used against him in the court of law. If something were to happen and if he does go to court, he would not, like that stuff that he would bring out or if he would say would not be used against him because, you know, he didn't come out and say it. So that is the whole thing with that. So yeah, I can't say that everything is 100% true that Louis did talk to a minor or he knowingly talked to a minor. But it is nothing that is shown as far as evidence that would indicate that. And people who watch y'all streams, who watch both of y'all streams, TJV's and the Crows of Judgment, they will take everything y'all say literally, and that's true. Like when they were bringing up stuff to TJ, they were like, oh, she could have switched IDs. Yeah, it's a possibility, but those IDs could be true as well. They could be real. The fact that they're trying to bring that as, oh, we're trying to discredit your information with that is wrong. Because it still could be true. All of this stuff could be true and it could still belong to a girl who is 15. We don't know who this girl is, but a girl who is 15. And all this stuff could be faked. And all this stuff could be faked by Cyan or faked by the girl or faked by whoever. That's a possibility as well. So I think it's dangerous the way every video and stuff is presented because y'all painting a picture and y'all demonizing someone to where you will get your audiences against a person. And I say that is a very dangerous game. Because look at the Central Park 5. If you seen the miniseries, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when I say demonizing. So everyone who watched the news, who have watched and seen people's news, because this is what news does. The same thing y'all do is what news does. They'll run off with a narrative and they'll run off with a story and they will demonize a person, and they don't really fully have all the information there, but the information they do have, they would use against that person. And the Central Park 5 were demonized in the public. They were treated awfully by the public because everybody believed that they violated a woman in the park. when they were nowhere near this woman. All the stuff they had put out, they were lied and tricked and everything. That's why it's so important not to say anything. So important to use your Fifth Amendment rights, because what happened to them was horrible. And it is so important to use your Fifth Amendment right not to say nothing. So what Louis is doing, him not saying anything, doesn't discredit him at all. It's a strategic move by him. Even if he had talked to his lawyers and his lawyers said, nope, don't talk to him, don't say anything, don't go out and voice your opinion about the situation or what evidence is brought out. Because what he could say could be used against him. So that's all I wanted to say on the subject with TJV and the Crow, what y'all are doing, what y'all are saying, and hopefully this kind of changes y'all way of thinking of making videos. Because I've watched TJV for a while, ever since like the mini lad situation, and his first talks about Louis during those times. I've seen those videos a long time ago. I've just recently watched The Crow, and I've been seeing a little bit of his videos and his live streams. I just want y'all to know, if y'all do see this video or someone brings this to y'all's attention, it's a dangerous way that every video and stuff that TJV does and for The Crow or Judgement does is highly dangerous. And it is perfectly fine for TJV to tell his audience not to attack anyone or not to threaten anyone or not to send any hate or anything anybody's way. It's perfectly fine to say that. But that's all I wanted to say on this situation, just because I think it is needed to be said about what is happening with him. I hope they are able to just try to do a better job of talking it out, because the way it was done was horrible. And it did seem like an attack on TJ, and TJ was very defensive. So TJV was very defensive because he was getting attacked by 3 people. But thank you all for whoever's watching.